Right now, you're listening to award-winning Sidney McDonald. Right now, I'm here with Mr. Everyday, Past Life Radio. The next level is about to get real serious. I need to stay tuned. It's gonna be something serious. Follow us, you heard? Let's get it.
So what you trying to do and who you really want to be? Everybody wants a shot to be the top in this industry. So what you trying to do and who you really want to be? Everybody wants a shot to be the top in this industry. I follow me, never walk in another man's shoes. Fake we good when you know we ain't brothers. I set my goals, aim high. I'm shooting for the sky, and I'm never giving up or quitting till the day I die. Seen a lot of them come and a lot of them go. The pedigree of champions is the.
So Sid, man, you know, we gonna, you know, there's certain things that I'm aware of, and I know that you've done throughout your career, and in terms of, you know, the entertainment business, and and the reason why I wanted you to be on this platform, The Next Level, is because you've literally managed to transcend your entertainment endeavors into other entrepreneurial endeavors and really level up on levels that people probably couldn't have ever foreseen for you. Right. You know. So I really want to go through from the beginning, so people could really get an understanding of how you became the beast that currently sits in front of me right now.
What's good?
You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about the early Sidney McDonald. Like, where are you from originally? Where were you born and raised?
I'm from the Bronx, New York. I'm from New York City, Cortland.
Boogie Down Bronx, stand up. You heard him.
Murder
Boogie Down Bronx.
Area. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Cortland
man.
Avenue.
And the crazy thing is, Cortland, I remember walking through Cortland with the biscuit back in the day.
Cortland Ave, that's Carlton High. That's
man.
Shoe.
Yeah.
That's Boy George area.
Yeah,
that's like, where I'm from is like, you know what I mean? It's one of those things, man. I mean, Google, you gotta Google that and you're gonna see the red.
Yeah, you talking about the South Bronx, like we talking about the real gritty Bronx,
Cortland
you know,
Ave,
like Cortland Ave 156. I used to be around Concourse Village, right here. My family for years had that,
Avenue,
and then I had the crib
Village.
on 166 in the Concourse.
Ooh,
so I was always all in that area,
all of that.
you know, on that side, coming over there. My cousins hanging, my cousins on Park, and you know what I mean. So like that's a very rich tradition, you know, of urban street culture.
That's that right there. Even now.
Even
Some of the young,
even now,
going through their names, but even some of the new up and coming big name artists.
You know, and there's a lot of people who didn't survive that neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? I understand. Like we're talking about like Bronx in its heyday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Wild Wild West Bronx.
Yeah.
You know? So you started out, you know, living in the Bronx. And what school did you attend? Did you go to school down there?
I went to school. I went to high school in the city. I mean, most of my life was New York City, Bronx. Right. Like that's in my blood. That's where I'm from.
Yes.
New York City, Bronx, but you can see me in all the boroughs.
Right.
I mean, I'm loopy with all of them. You feel me? But like the Bronx, I mean, every part of the Bronx, I've been you know, a part of in some shape or form. Whether it was Sedgwick Ave, all the way on the west side, all the way Boston Road, we could go all the way up Tremont, like everything. If you know the Bronx, then you know what that's all about.
Absolutely.
You feel me? So, you know what I'm saying?
So what was your early childhood like? Was mom and dad in the building? Yeah. Like, was it, you know, what, you know, was your family real supportive of the things that you were doing when you were young?
My family, I come from a large family. I got 8 sisters. You feel me? So already my lifestyle was always managing sisters.
That says a lot.
You feel me? Being protective. You know what I'm saying? My sisters was beautiful too. They were like that. You know, everybody know. Just think about it, whoever's listening. That family that's next door, down the block, those girls with long hair, and one got the fatty, and the other one's this one, and you can't figure out what sister you gonna want to fuck with or talk to. Pardon me for the cursing.
Now you
know what I mean? Or you're like, damn, he got like all the bad sisters. Well, I was that brother. I was the one. And one thing that's crazy, I never was a hater. Like, I never was one of those guys that be like, yo, you looking at my sister? So that transcended into how I manage women.
Right.
I never was a hater. I didn't care if you talk to my sister as long as you ain't disrespectful. You feel me? So yeah, I'm one of them. I'm the one that had the beautiful sisters.
So were they mostly younger than you?
Nah, I'm the middle kid. I'm the middle. Yeah. So I had the ones that led the way, and I had the other half of the other sisters that kind of I had to show the way and kind of really. You feel me? So,
yeah.
It was just kind of one of those things. You feel me?
So no brothers?
Yeah, I have a brother. Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
Okay.
But from the sister side, yes. But I also have a younger brother. You know what I'm saying? He's actually the youngest.
I just learned something. I didn't realize that your family was that big.
Yeah. Then I got stepbrothers, and I got brothers from like other my father was married,
relations and things.
like that. But like New York City, how I was raised, you would know that family. You know what I mean? And then the streets, even the old heads, they always respected like, yo, you don't play with young God. You know, you don't play with his sisters. You feel me? And my mom was bad. You feel me? My mom was bad. She's still bad to this day. So I had a beautiful mother. Hence.
Yeah.
You see
genetics.
me, right? But hence they always kind of really showed me like how to really take care of yourself and what women like.
No, that makes very good sense to how you present yourself.
Yeah, what women like. So my sisters and I'm gonna be like, you can't go about talking to a woman like this. Or you can't, you feel me? Or get your hair right, or cleanliness and this and that. So all of those things kind of really help develop me and shape me.
No, that makes total sense now. Like really, it really does, because I was raised by women also. Yeah. You know, and you understand, like when you have that wisdom that comes from a queen, you navigate and move differently. You know, especially when the women in your family was on a certain level. You know what I mean? Not hood rat type. You know what I mean?
But like the thing is sisters. One thing about me, what I learned about just having so many sisters, is that women all could be different. You know what I'm saying?
Come in all different types.
So even though we come from same mom and pops, like every sister had their own unique way how you had to approach them. Right. Every unique way of how you had to understand what she was going through, the emotions and all of that. So that again, that shaped me. That shaped me for how I deal with not only regular life problems, but just how I dealt with women in general. And then everybody know I love women. So it was one of those things where I was able to appreciate them. And then also get spanked by mommy, like don't go past that threshold. Learn how to do this in the third. Feel me? So yeah, big family, and you know I don't really talk too much about my family when it comes to too much shit. But you know what? I'll give it to y'all. Pardon me. Yeah. But I give it to y'all. That's what it was. You good.
Nah, it's good though, because I'm getting you to come out your shell a little bit, and you know, and I'm learning some things because I didn't know that. You know what I mean? And that's peace, man. To know that you come from a big family and of women that transferred a lot of great values to you that are resonating to this day, that are making you a better man actually.
Yeah, but Pops. Let's not forget Pops was there. Their mom did. They did their divorce thing. My mom was always married my stepfather, who was a good man. He's still alive, but he was a good man. He really showed me the way. So, you know what I mean? I don't really look down on step pops.
Did you play any sports, anything when you were coming up?
I used to love to work out. You know what I'm saying? I was just a girl chaser. I mean, like, I watched the
I'm trying to look good and chase girls.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm saying, but it was me more of, I would work out. I could, I play a little ball here and there, stuff like that. But mainly with me, man, I worked out. I was a workout kid, and I used to like boxing. My hands are still real nice too. Very nice.
I heard it.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, I heard there's a rumor about
Oh yeah, my hands is very nice. But that's what it was. It was boxing and like racing and stuff like that, running like as a kid, just in track and field. And then I used to just love working out, just really getting to the physical fitness side of things.
So when did music come into play for you? Was music always a part of your life?
My mother could sing. My sisters and them could sing. But it wasn't until like a certain part of my life where I realized, you know what I mean? Wow, I might want to go in this direction. But it was later on in my life. I didn't see music as anything that I wanted to really be a part of. Right. You feel me? I ain't one of your best dancers. Right. So I wasn't really into that. I wasn't really trying to do nothing. I mean, at one point, I kind of joined a rap group. And we was in the city.
I was going to ask you about
Lagoons, that. Yeah, the Black Lagoons. We was running the Bronx. You Google that, like we used to have, like we were like with Wu-Tang doing shows with Biggie. We were back in the day. It was big. Shout out to Bigfoot and the rest of them.
I know Bigfoot.
Dudes. Yeah, so
Bigfoot came on the show.
Yeah, he's still doing this thing. But like, shout out to him. He kind of opened my eyes to kind of really saying, hey, let's do something. You know. And we did some big things.
He went back. He said
I went back.
Bigfoot.
But I wasn't really wanting to be an artist. Right. I was really just with the right people. Right. And I was able to kind of see how the game worked. But I never wanted to be the artist. Right. You feel me? So, but that's how that was the first little intro of one piece of the music puzzle. But there's another part, but I'm going to leave that to...
Oh, no, we talking about everything today.
I don't want to get too crazy and bore the people.
Nah, we going in because we gonna touch on a lot of different things here because...
Stay tuned.
There's definitely a lot going on. So, you transitioning in the entertainment business at this point in time? Like at a young, with teenage, you starting to do certain things. Who was your favorite artist at that time? Like, yeah. Who would you say, like, when you look at the eras from now and today, what would you say is your favorite artist back then, and then what is your favorite artist now?
That's a crazy question. I don't even know how to answer that. Because I mean, I come from a whole bunch of different eras. I'm not even gonna show, you know what I mean? My ID today.
Yeah.
But like, I ain't even gonna hold you. This is something you don't even know. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know. So I used to tour with Heavy D. That was my first. I know everybody looking like, how he go that far back? Yeah. I used to tour with Heavy D.
Right.
So it was a friend of mine that was married. His name is Demetrius Davis.
Yes.
Shout out to Demetrius Davis. He was married to Heavy's sister, which is, her name is Portia.
Wow.
And he basically just wanted me to go help them with the equipment and all the other
Yeah,
things.
just get in the loop.
And then I got really loopy with them.
Yeah.
Basically, I was going to all the haluas out there in Mount Vernon, then opening up shows, big shows, Madison Square Garden, just learning how to, you know, put the equipment and stuff like that away. Then I just got real close with the family. And Heb really showed a lot of things. He showed me how to really take care of your team. You know, I remember one quick story when he did like a big surprise thing for his mom and pop, Heavy D, and actually furnished their whole house.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And it was like, we all was hiding in the house, and he actually furnished their house, and when they came home, it was like
they came home to a total makeover.
Yeah, and he really was just always trying to really
take care
of family.
Before the TV shows and
take care of
and the clout chasing, this is the real stuff.
But I used to be in my projects wearing the Heavy D and the Boys tour jackets, the leather sleeves and all that stuff. Everybody in the hood used to be like, yo, son be really with them.
Trouble T. Roy and all.
Yeah, so that was the first part of what people started to say Sid is with them.
Yeah.
And
now if you don't know who he's talking about, he's talking about a major mogul though. He's talking about somebody not only had a career as a hip hop artist that was multi-platinum, but also leveled up in the game and was an executive who signed. He had signed Soul For Real. Remember, he had Soul For Real. That was his group.
With Andre Harrell.
Yeah, Andre Harrell. Like Puff. Like that. Puff was the assistant A&R back then for his label Uptown MCA.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So we talking about like Uptown, and Uptown's what Mount Vernon area, right? Right. So we talking about that whole clique. Yeah, they had Jodeci came out of that camp. Mary J. Blige came out of that camp. Father MC came out of that camp. You know, we're talking about iconic hip hop artists. Iconic hip hop artists. No, I appreciate that. You know what I mean? You know, we talking about where Diddy got his start. You know what I mean?
That's how far back I go.
So now let's like fast forward for one quick second. Who would you say is your favorite artist today?
Like artist today?
Hip hop artist.
That's a tough one, man. That's a real tough one. You know, I'm gonna have to toss up between Kanye and Jay. And the reason why I just feel like they both were really huge influences on the game on so many different aspects. And they also brought a big light to my world. So they kind of was not only influences for me, but I've also made money with them. You feel me? So that's a toss up. That's a real toss up. But I'll give it to Hov. I think he's leading the way. So I think he's, you know, I'll say him. I'm not really gonna play around. There's like some basic questions that I want to ask you, but I'm gonna save those. Go ahead.
I want to talk about Kanye West and the altercation with Kanye West.
He just jumped right to it. He just jumped right to it. Put it like this. I'm gonna get right to that. Ye owed me some money. I managed Cudi. They was ducking me. And it's crazy because I just came upstate New York. And really, we were in the process of signing Cudi through Def Jam at that moment. And
Kid Cudi, we talking about.
Kid Cudi and
multi-platinum artist. My guy right here discovered him.
Right. So Payne Pat, who was actually Kanye A&R at the time, had our meeting at Def Jam with Cudi. And Ye loved it. We went to get the signing and everything else, but I was having a son out here at this point in Albany. And I was like so new to Albany, New York. Right. And my son got real sick. Okay. And he passed away.
Oh wow, I'm sorry about that.
And my son, my baby, passed away at the Albany Hospital. And so that kind of taught me to this community, making me really just stay here. I was dealing with doctors and all that other stuff. For sure. And then it's kind of like I found a place to stay out here, trying to really commute, because this was a hospital that really helped with his health condition. Right. And so he passed away, and it was real tough for me. But at the same time, during the time where we were developing the deal for Cudi, he ended up signing to Good Music, even though he was supposed to, but my name wasn't really on the paperwork properly. So because you was out because I was dealing with a death. Right. And
so because you wasn't on top,
he felt that I wasn't focused on that part right there. Right. After I brought him to the label. and it was a very emotional part. Anybody would understand that.
Yeah.
At the industry, it would tear you up, man.
Yeah, well.
And so it'll really test your ego.
Right.
So with that, as time went on or whatever, I got next to some people that know people, and we really caught up with Ye. Down in the city. But Cuddy, you know what I'm saying? And we had a real physical kind of altercation. But Cuddy resolved that, and he set up the meeting.
Okay.
And I got a nice PC out of it, and long story short, that's how that kind of went down. But it was just a lot of promises in between, and that really wasn't supposed to go that route. But now I kind of look back on how I handle business now, and I learned that it could tarnish your image, and also hurt a lot of where you're trying to move or how you move in the business. And so I was a learning lesson from you on how I approached that.
Right.
So if I could,
and I'm thinking about that, and I'm listening to that because I've been in certain situations as well where it's like when you by being up here at certain times and not being in certain situations, there's snakes that get in, that come into the game, and they look for opportunities to slide in at the last minute.
Right.
You done did all the heavy lifting, done got it to the door, and now we just ready to do this, and then you step out for a minute, and then here they come sliding in, And so, I was actually having a flashback of some of my own experiences so I really was feeling you on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I want to give love to like an artist that was once an artist. I don't even know if he's an artist anymore, but everybody, if y'all remember, like Xavier White, B. Martin,
Xavier White,
Austin. Xavier White really gets props from me because he was one that, if everybody know, he was at his little height in the moment, and he stuck with me going from label to label to label. We went to Sony, all of these different labels, and when he got a deal, I never forget the lawyers he would not sign his deal unless Sidney McDonald's name was on there. And he's from Albany.
Yeah, he is.
So he signed, I believe, Phase 1 at that time.
Yes.
But we went to all the major labels. I managed him for a short period of time.
I didn't know that you managed Xavier White.
Yeah, I kind of managed him, but it was really just, I used to shop.
Consulting.
I used to shop everybody's deal out here. Everybody, if you don't know me, then you know. I went to Def Jam, Sony, Universal, Xavier White will stamp that. And so even Austin, I took him to all of these labels. Right. But I would never forget that he would not sign his deal unless my name was on there, and we didn't have that long-term relationship. So
just the respect.
For people to kind of always think Albany don't have that loyalty and commitment, they do. Right. It's just it's a funny thing. So shout out to him.
Yeah, that's a good story. I appreciate you telling me that because I actually know Xavier like personally very well. Yeah. You know what I mean? I know he had went to New York, and then the pandemic kind of threw him off. He went down to Florida for a little bit. Yeah. And then I lost touch with him after right around the pandemic. I haven't spoken to him in a while.
Well, shout out to him. I just want to say something like that.
Yeah, that's peace. Now, was Austin one of the first artists in the 518 that where's Austin from originally?
I don't know. I think Boston Spa.
Okay.
He's from Boston.
Okay, yeah. So he's from the 518.
Yeah.
So was he one of the first people that you started kind of like working with a little more closely once you got here?
Yeah, I think it was Jeremy. It was a gentleman named Jeremy who was out from Boston Spa in Schenectady.
Jeremy Stewart?
Not Schenectady. Jeremy, Doc, I forget his last name. He's a good friend, but he was young, really young at the time, working with Austin. And then I started working with him, and we did some Young Money projects out here with Young Money.
Now that leads me to that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Things, yeah.
No, let's talk about that. So you're working with Austin, and you did a record where I think was it Lil Chucky or something like that?
Yeah, we had Young Money come out here. Right. But we shot the video here.
Because up by the egg, I seen the egg in the background and all that.
We did some stuff on Central Avenue. These were the days when people kind of really acting like I wasn't that guy. You know what I'm saying? But Austin did his thing. He's super talented. I haven't tapped in with Austin in years now. But yeah, we went to Atlanta. We did some projects out there. We tapped in with Mayweather when we were out there. We tapped in with Akon.
Don't just skip by that. You said Floyd Mayweather, right? Mayweather, you can't just be throwing like, we tapped in with May. No, you can't just jump right by that. You can't just run right by that.
Mayweather was having a lot of events, and I was tapped into a lot of the fight deals. At that time, I had some fight deals going on. So there were a lot of nice relationships that I've had where I was getting certain invites. So we went all the way out to Atlanta and stayed in VIP with him and got a chance to rub shoulders with him and his crew, and then finish up some project with Young Money while we were out there. So it was really nice. It was a nice time.
That's dope. Yeah. So because I know a lot of times with these situations, other things spawn from that. Because, there's a rumor going around that, the Young Money situation opened up other relationships for you.
Oh, yeah.
by way of Drake, Nicki, and things like that. And you know, and even Akon. Talk to me about, you know, the Akon situation.
Well, that time going out there, that's what's big. Where I always feel honored to work with certain artists that are really serious because it opens doors for me. I may have certain contacts, but once you bring that artist, you keep developing more and more opportunities. So we went out to Atlanta and worked with Akon, and met up with Mayweather, and Akon happened to be there. He invited us to his house. So we stayed with Akon, seeing his house, all the other things, and kind of rubbed shoulders with them. Akon then introduced me to Ray J. And then Ray J introduced me to Whack 100. And then Whack 100 introduced me
let's stop.
to...
Hold that, who Whack 100 introduced you to. Hold that one. Let's go back to Ray J.
Okay.
Because you've had Ray J all over the 518.
Right.
Numerous amounts of times.
Well, we did 48 cities. We did
sitting
48.
in barbershops.
Yeah.
At the I think it wasn't MVP Arena back then. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you and Ray are tight.
Yeah.
No question about that.
I know,
you know what I mean?
Moms. He know my moms.
Right.
He came to the house, eat with us. I spent the night at his house. Pause. But just like we do business, it's like family.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not like we just run around and do business. Like, he's a phone call away.
Right. So you had something going on with the fight scene, because I didn't want to get too far ahead of the fight scene.
Right.
And I hadn't seen anybody do this before. Could you care to explain how that came about?
Award-winning Sidney McDonald.
Award-winning Sidney McDonald.
No,
you know,
for real.
Matter of fact, hold on a second. Hold on. We got every time we gotta.
I don't want to be able to explain that. They don't understand that.
Hold on, bro.
We're going too fast.
Hold on.
We gotta let them understand. What's that? What is this award-winning Sidney McDonald about?
Yeah.
They don't understand what that means.
We gonna get to we gonna really dial into what we mean when we say award winning. You know, we're leading up to that. We're leading up to that. So so the Ray J situation, you're now doing a lot of different things with him.
Right.
You're now starting to put your hands in, because Ray J gets to the bag and he definitely has a very diverse portfolio. So you literally were able to broker a whole fight. Was it MMA? Was it MMA? And you had Evander Holyfield, ex-champion Evander Holyfield involved. Talk to me about that situation.
Let me explain that. So I started off, shout out to Mike Melas. He was like the Don King of MMA. So he was a licensed promoter throughout all of the different states and regions. And him and I collaborated through an artist that I was managing named B. Delaney. B. Delaney, shout out to him and his team. At the time, basically, I figured out a way where we could market him as an artist. So we started collaborating with MMA fighters, walking out to different fights. But we didn't start with small arenas. We started with arenas, 10,000 people, 15,000 people at every arena. And then I would have people open up and perform during the fights, halftime, and also sing the national anthem. So I partnered with Mike Melas. He's like the Don King.
Yes.
And that's why we used to travel. I used to take artists with me and we would travel the country, literally opening up fights, doing halftime, getting tickets and sales and everything. It was huge. So we had our own tour, fight tour. Once I generated enough money, and this is what I like to teach your listeners on how to generate in partnership, because that's the key to this whole thing.
Yes.
Forget all my accolades. I want to show people how to do this, because if I knew how to do this before, 20 years ago, I would have saved a lot of time. So that's really what I'm here for, to show your listeners, man, how to do this. So if y'all listening, let me just teach you how to do this. So anyway, that partnership allowed me to have different sponsorships. You're talking about vitamin, you're talking about boxing equipment, all of these different big sponsors would actually Spalding. I ended up building a rapport with them, and they were sponsoring all of the fights. I made so much money, and you can Google it. I don't want to get into numbers on your show.
Yeah, I saw some things.
But you could understand what type of numbers I'm talking about.
I can attest because I saw some things.
So
I can vouch.
So that's when, so
it's in print.
That also, right, allowed me to then create a new lane for boxing. So I had MMA locked. Everybody was talking. I'm doing big shows. I've got the press all over. We're doing Fox Sport Network. We're on all of the big boxing networks that you could look at. My name, my company logo was on. We was doing UFC fights with Dana White. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll see I was sponsoring with Dana White. My company, every exposure. So we had UFC fighters. We started with MMA, and UFC fighters started to walk out with us. It got that big. That led to boxing saying, we are interested in you. We need boxing to come back. And then what happened was I partnered with my guy Tim Chan and Ray J to collectively figure out how we could do this. So he had me on the phone with.
Now, can you talk about like, I don't want you to stop this story, but I want to know like a little just
man. I don't want to lose
keep going. But let them know who Tim Chan is. Like, explain to me.
Tim Chan is Pacquiao's manager.
Okay.
Pacquiao's road manager, Evander Holyfield's road manager. He does business with Mike Tyson. Tim Chan's a multimillionaire, and he partnered with me to figure out how we could make this happen. So I already won my award for the MMA deal. And I won my award with French Montana. You can look it up. It's all documented. French Montana, Wyclef, Wale, Power 105. We all won awards that night at Webster Hall. And that was a grand, monumental moment for me because I was surprised when the Academy called me because of me merging the world of MMA and fights together. So I am award winning.
Can we put some applause on that?
I am award winning Sidney McDonald. Thank you. Yeah. So now that's when boxing was born on my end, where they said, listen, we want to figure out how you could create this, use this same formula and put it for boxing. Yes, sir. So Akon wanted to be my partner, but he felt Ray J might be a good fit. So I had that meeting with Ray J. So then I had meetings with Roy Jones. I had meetings with Dana White, trying to figure out what could we move forward. I had meetings with all of the big fighters, and Evander Holyfield was the best fit. So Evander Holyfield partnered with me under my company, and Ray J and Evander was under my company. So I signed them under my company.
That's big.
And that's how that happened.
That's big. Now, if you listen to what he just said, he said he signed Evander and Ray under his company.
Every exposure. I was the CEO. So that's how big that situation was. And so those were the things that I've done, and those are the things that I was able to accomplish. You know, what I want your audience to really understand, really, it's not about me. I want your audience to understand it's all about building relationships.
Right.
That's what I want them to understand. What I did is I built relationships. What I did was I went out there, I took a chance, and I thought outside the box. And if you don't do that, you're gonna always have the same results. That's one thing that I can
say for you. You know, I've learned a lot from you.
Thank you.
Over the years. And for one thing about me, I'm a student of the game always. Always researching, always looking at what's going on, different platforms, you know, getting as much information, seeing what's working, what's not working. And, you know, I'm not gonna get too far ahead because I got a story I'm gonna tell about me and you making moves, doing some things. But I definitely learned more so about outside the box thinking because of certain things that you presented to me and showed me in real time.
Talk about
do this and this will be, and I watched it and I was like, that's what he was talking about. That's exactly what he was talking about. Yeah. So I appreciate that, you know, the knowledge and information that you not only passing on this platform today, but the things that I've learned from you myself as a peer. Right. You know what I'm saying? And you know,
I didn't even tell your fans because you stopped me. I don't know when you want
go ahead, bro. Tell them. Go ahead.
WAC 100.
Yes, that's what you right on point because I was going right back to WAC 100.
Shout them out.
So Snoop,
you gotta remember, first of all,
wait, Snoop introduced you to WAC 100, right?
Well, Snoop is related. First of all, everybody got Snoop is Ray J's first cousin.
Boom, right? Boom. If you didn't know,
Ray J different. Like Ray J's different. Know. Everybody don't understand. Like why you was Ray J's different.
Right.
But anyway, that's Snoop's cousin, first cousin. WAC. I mean. And I don't want to go with Tashib's story.
Yeah.
I'll go with WAC. WAC basically, Ray J introduced me to WAC. WAC put me in front of Baby. He put me in front of Drake, literally.
Right.
This is on record. Nicki. You feel me? Like these type of people. You know what I'm saying? So like, I mean, we talking about award shows where WAC is like, Sid, you get on the stage with everybody. So that's love.
Yeah, for sure.
That's love.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like that's love. Like, I feel like everything that I've done in different things in business is like everybody showed me love, bro. Except for Kid Cudi, you know, for real. But like everybody showed me love. Down to Jay-Z, down to Dame Dash, down to all of these different scenarios and opportunities. Like, when I really think about it, like that's why I work so hard to want to help somebody else. Because I know how it feel.
You know, and that's
I know
the
how it feel when you really want it so bad.
That's what makes you in a great position to manage and advise and consult with someone because you've traveled
I know
that
how
path.
that shit feel, bro.
You've traveled that path.
If anybody's listening to me, I know how it feel. I know how it feel when you really want something. But you know what you have to do? Damn, you killed it on that.
Yeah.
But you know what? Yeah, you killed it on that.
No, I had to kill it on that.
You know what they got to do?
Because it's going on the podcast. They can't get everything on social media.
But you know what they got to do? Are we on the air?
Yeah, we live,
All
baby.
right, I'm sorry.
We live.
You know what?
There's two different things going on right now. Just not to cut you off. Like we're filming for a podcast and we're live on air in real time. So there's all different types of cameras and stuff going on in here and everything. This is a major production going on right now. Continue, sir. I didn't mean to cut you off.
But you know what it's like? You know, I always say the word like pet, and people be like, "What the hell is pet?" Pet is like pet, patience. And persistence, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You gotta have that. Ego is that E. You gotta watch your egos, bro. You have to swallow your pride, and you can't let your ego take you where you don't want to be, man. Your ego is the thing that's gonna mess you up. People are buried right now because of the ego. Ego is something that I'm speaking to the men, you gotta control it. Mm-hmm. It's gonna hurt you and it's not even on a physical thing. You're gonna say, damn, I wanna talk to somebody like a Sidney McDonald. I wanna work with somebody like this person. But your ego won't let you do it. So think about it. You don't even have to answer me because I can't hear you on this radio. Where has it got you?
Right.
Where have it gotten you?
And the crazy thing about me
is... I just want them to think about that. Where have it, when you driving in your car by yourself, not when you with your homies.
Right.
Think about it. Where have it really gotten you with that ego? Because every time I swallow my ego, I never compromise my manhood for nobody.
Right.
But when I think about putting my ego to the side, I grow. And I didn't even say the T yet. Because I ain't even spell a whole pet out yet.
Yes.
But there's so many things you could throw that T on. And it could be time. It could be, what you want to say for T? Anything for T.
Yeah, I mean, with time.
Time.
There's nothing more important than
time is important, right?
There's nothing more important.
You gotta spend time management. All of that is
time. Time is of the essence.
Where are you spending your time right now? Is it always on social media? Is it always at a shorty house? Is it always gossiping with somebody? Is it always on a corner? Where are you spending and how are you spending your time? I'm not here to teach everybody, but in management, you can't step back and look at the next man and feel some sort of way, but you throwing your time away. Because you caught up in your ego. You caught up in
You're wasting time.
And at the end of the day, these are the same meetings you're gonna have at real labels. So if you're not gonna even want to listen to this right now, and your time attention span is too short to listen to this, you're not ready.
Right.
You're not ready.
Right. If you can't handle your ego being bruised, then this is not the game
for you. That's it. There's so many areas.
This is not the game for you. Your attitude is what's gonna ruin it for you right from the beginning, and it's gonna be noticed by people higher up. You won't even know that you've just been blackballed behind your attitude.
Yeah.
And it'll happen so subtly and so quick. You'll still be talking in it, and you have talked yourself out of a blessing. You have talked yourself out of a situation.
Yeah.
You have talked yourself out of your career. Little do you know. And you'll be wondering after 10 years of beating your head on a wall why nothing's ever working out for you. And it'll be because of all the bridges that you burned subliminally that you didn't realize just because your ego, just because your pride.
It's crazy.
You know, so yeah, that's a major thing, man. I appreciate you mentioning that because, you know, I've preached that myself in my circle. Like, don't let your pride get in the way. So, what motivated you to start your own business and become an entrepreneur?
It happened by mistake. It started, I had little businesses here and there, but when I did my management company, actually, it was by mistake. I owned a barbershop, right, where Jay-Z and DMX battled. I'm not going to get into the long story because there's so many different areas. If you look it up, called Backstage, you'll look at the movie, you'll see me in there, you'll see DMX in the movie, you'll see me in it. And that's my barbershop, by the way, people.
We're talking about one of the most iconic moments.
That's my barbershop.
One of the most iconic moments. The famous battle between Jay and DMX.
The Locks was there.
Is in Sidney McDonald's barbershop.
Dame Dash was there. All of that. That was my barbershop. Right?
You understand how like crazy?
We ain't even talk about me being on a reality show right now.
Wait.
Upstate New York need to stop.
We're gonna stop right there. We're gonna stop right there.
Hold,
sir. Hold on.
Like we got so much to talk about, man.
I'm sorry, Sidney. We have to. We can't just say these things and then we not take a moment.
Bro.
We gotta breathe. We gotta let it breathe.
Because we going way back on my resume, but like,
bro, listen, right there, iconic. That's one of the most iconic moments.
That's like one of
ever in
the
hip hop.
first, second biggest battles ever.
Jay
like from
versus DMX in the barbershop.
Right.
Early DMX, early Jay. This is one of the most iconic battles.
Every big name, legendary artist in the game talk about that moment. Guess who was there? Me. Guess whose shop it was? Mine. And you got the nerve to ask who's the GOAT?
The audacity.
This is crazy.
The audacity.
But listen, let's go into that, right?
Yeah.
So they filmed it there. I didn't know they were going to film.
Right.
I didn't know they were using cameras. Like, we wasn't even paying attention. We just watching the battle.
Right.
Right? Fast forward, everybody wanted to come to the shop the next day. That's the biggest marketing thing, everything. We got people from Manhattan, Brooklyn, everybody want a haircut there.
You can't tell them
that's how I got my bag up.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was an average kind of a good barbershop, but literally anybody can imagine after Jay and I'm coming to your shop on a battle, because my street dudes from the Bronx, I was super duper tapped in, brought them all there. So this is what happened. So now they have this battle. The next day, everybody wants a haircut, and everybody wants to know who's Jay-Z, where he's at, how did all this happen. I was a young dude, so I didn't have those answers. But everybody wanted me to manage them. I'm like, I can't I don't even know what y'all talking about managing. So I had so much props, but I also generated so much income that I started to think, let me just see if I could start a management company.
Yeah, why not?
6 months later, Backstage movie comes out in the theaters. So not only did I get the props from the hood, the movie comes out. And Damon puts me in the movie. So I'm getting this hood love, plus I'm getting movie love.
Right.
So it kind of gave me a double whammy of popularity, which gave me my own platform. So I ran off and opened up an entertainment company, trying to figure out how I could do it. But you know what? Everybody worked with me. Shout out to 50 Cent. Shout out to Jim Jones. Even now, I book girls with Jimmy. If you go to my Facebook page, I book girls upstate. Jim Jones, Waka Flocka, Jamie Foxx.
Because you have a whole relationship with him and his moms, right? And then,
Deb and when I'm in Atlanta, Deb and I tap in all the time, and just respectfully because they really are tapped in. Yeah. So when I get out there, they get me loopy. They like radio stations. They got this, they got that, and I'm not sure if you know. Like in 2015, I opened up a restaurant, a comedy club restaurant. Yeah, I remember that. In 2015, yes, I even hired people from Albany, New York, to work there.
I remember that. Literally, yep. Yeah, literally
and guess who
relocated people.
Yeah. Oh, yes, sir. Yeah. You remember.
Yeah. Bro, I told you, I researched.
Guess who was one of the guys, we did an audition for the comedy club, and guess who came here? DC Young Fly. Wow. I gave him his first audition, and that's how he got on. We did the Wildin' Out audition. DC Young guy Young Fly was selected.
Hold on, so
you can Google it.
Hold on.
His audition was at my place.
Hold on.
Dogs. Shout out to him too, and RP to his beautiful, beautiful wife.
Come on, bro.
Who's the GOAT?
You can't just be saying stuff like DC.
Like everybody acting like I didn't open up a comedy club and a restaurant. I wasn't one of the first. I don't want to throw nobody in the bus. I love everybody, but are y'all really sick?
Come on,
come on, bro.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
So shout out to him, but RIP to his beautiful, beautiful wife and his kids, man. It was like, just being tapped into different things and building relationships. So Doug Anthony and I'm tapping with them when I get out there. Yeah. A few other folks, and they put me in a position to get a lot of things accomplished. When I go to LA, you know who I tap in with to make sure I get a lot of things to tap. I could hit Uncle Soup up, through my homie Ray J, or from in the city. And it's everything. It's up in the city.
You just smoked my first question.
What was that?
That I asked you what motivated you to start your own business and become an entrepreneur.
It was that. It was me opening up that management company, man. It was me opening up a management company. I opened it up on 45 West 21st Street in New York City. And I was really just managing models.
Right, you was downtown.
Yeah, I was downtown. Yeah. I was right next to Diddy's restaurant.
Right.
Justin's restaurant is right next door. I've been at that location for 4 years. Anybody want to talk about how much it costs to have have a office there? Anybody? Yeah. I was in my 20s. And that was my spot.
Yeah.
And that's how management, that's the type of management level I was on in my 20s. And so,
Yeah, you've always carried yourself much older in your stature from a young age. You know what I'm saying? Yep.
So yeah, that's what it was. So then I really just tried it. And what I did is I actually, again, building relationships. I started writing letters and sending pictures to production companies, asking them what could I do to book my talent. And they told me, teach them how to perform in front of the camera. Teach them what a 417 is. Do anybody in this room know what a 417 is?
Talk about it.
The fact that you don't is the reason why you need Sidney as your manager.
Talk about it.
If you don't know what a 417 is, if you don't know what a 412 is, you're going out there looking to get managed and get booked, and you're not. Because when you're dealing with a certain level of production and they ask, all right, could you do a 417? And you go, well, what's that? That is the reason why you needed me to manage you. So I've taught them things like that in the language. We save production time. And then I was able to put people in movies with Nicole Kidman. I was able to put people in movies with Will Smith. I was able to put people in movies with Robert Downey Jr. And so that's what kept me going for 4 years there. Then I began, 2 years in, managing artists. So that is how my whole management thing started, and it took off. And I never forget when 50 and them called us to do the In the Club video at his house, at Mike Tyson's house. So the props that I had in New York City, a lot of it came with me looking like a smooth dude, dressing the part, but also being very professional.
Yes.
I had the beautiful girls.
Yeah, because you actually were out professionalizing people.
It's one of those things.
You were.
Yeah.
You were the sharpest dressed.
I was out there. People always thought that I was the artist.
Yes.
But I never wanted to be the artist. I really wanted to kind of really put.
In many ways, what you were doing was artistic.
It was. But I was almost I was moving like a small label.
Right.
Small record label. Because I was putting people in movies. I was putting people in commercials. I was putting people at record labels. I was taking people to the BET Awards, hip hop award shows. We had front row seats.
Loving
I had
loving hip hop cameos.
Yeah, that was a little bit after. But this is just some of the things that I brought to the table with managing talent. And so it gave me a lot of leverage and momentum when I went to a record label, because it was like, this guy has everything in place. His artist has 3 television shows he's featured on, 2 that he's about to feature on. You know, he has this momentum. This is before all of that social media and views. Yeah. This was all about, what do you have to show for who you are. Right now, everyone's caught up with how many views you have. And to me, I never was impressed with that. Right. I was never impressed with that, because that makes certain people feel that they accomplished something. Right. Just so because they could act rude. They could be a straight clown on social media and get views. You know when people like that get exposed? When their pages get taken. Yo, that's crazy. And then you never hear from them again. Yeah. It's over. Because that was it. The stunts and the publicity stunts that they pulled to get the numbers, some of it fabricated, and and then it gets taken, and I was like, can you do that again? No, you can't, can you? That's why because you wasn't really standing on anything of substance. That's why I tell people, man, you want to get somewhere, seriously, this is for all my friends, all my homies, the ladies out there, whoever's listening, get serious. Get serious. Come on. Get serious. And when you get serious, think about this. All of the jokesters, people that joke all over on Facebook all day, or social media, Instagram, or just in person or classical, how far do they get? All right, you make people laugh and you want to be a comedian. Go and be a comedian, because those people play around so much, they don't really make money. At some point, you got to grow up, especially when you become at least 30. Right. Get serious, and people will take you serious. The joking and stuff, you'll get some laughs and you'll get some views, but it really don't generate into any money. It's attention. People love the attention. That's what it is. And I don't really seek attention. I try to give advice. I try to say little small things or whatever. But the truth is, I really want to help my guys out here. I really want to help my brothers. I really want to be able to open those doors that people open for me. But the key is, do you have the ego to want it? Are you serious? Are you committed? Or you want to sit here and, waste time and do all the other things? So that's when I kind of stepped back from upstate and really putting a lot of people in situations, because I realized I was just wasting time. Right. And until that time come where people come up and present themselves professionally, don't email me and inbox me with yo.
Bro, listen.
Hey.
Those
like,
are the worst things.
Do you not even think about, like, I can answer it like that. I can answer
right.
it. But, like, that ain't going to transition into money. If you already started messaging me like that, start off in a way like I'm being respectful. I'm a business professional. Approach me professionally and I may have a better conversation with you.
I get that all the time. Like the mad O's, right? And then the first question is, yo, you on radio? So you hit me with the first question was, yo. The second one was, am I on radio? Stuff that you, never mind the fact that there's like 20 posts back to back to back of me on radio doing the show. Never mind that if you look at my bio, it clearly breaks down what I do professionally, the brands that I have, the labels that I have, everything going on. And you're asking me these generic, is those the answers? That's what you're looking for? So if you get one answer, if you get one reply from me, is that how you want to start it out? Because after I reply to you, then I'm moving on.
Right. Because then it almost make me feel like I have a lot to invest in you. Like I have to at least teach you how to articulate yourself. I have to teach you how to introduce yourself.
Yes. My name is such and such. This is what I'm doing.
There's so much already. You set the bar so low where it's almost like, I feel like, man, you can't, I mean, because it's something called public relations, man. You got to learn how to communicate, talk, sell yourself. And this is a bad start. So those are the things that I mean, like, I just want to show them. I don't want to talk down on anybody. I just want to show them how it works. If you want to make money, let's do it. Other than that, I've been making great moves with people outside of Albany. I've been everything because I don't have to help people in Albany. Right. So if they say, why you ain't helping? Because I used to. Everybody remember me taking them with Nelly. Everybody remember me taking them on days with Jadakiss. We ain't booking him and giving him 30, 40, 50 grand to do a show.
Matter of fact, both of those trips I was on.
Jadakiss,
I was on a Jadakiss trip, a Nelly trip.
Me and say, bro, you's official. We're going to be here, and here. Right. You could rock with us for the day. Right. I don't know who upstate ever did that unless they had to pay to have them somewhere, and the artist still might not show up.
That's right.
Literally, I've brought these are things that I've done for upstate. Was it appreciated? No. You know, did people take advantage? No. We had people having fights with Nelly. I took people and they started fighting with Nelly at the event. And not at the event, but like just having arguments with him and different things. And I'm caught in the middle. It's just like, these are opportunities that people do not understand. You're
giving me a flashback of a trip.
If people don't understand, man, like,
you're giving me a flashback. I remember we went down to Nelly was having a celebrity softball game in Queens, I believe it was. Was it Queens? Or was it Coney Island?
It was Queens. It was
Queens.
Yeah,
it was Queens.
You went with us?
Yeah, I was there. And I was there.
Wow, good looking, bro. I
I'm literally vouching for what he's saying. Like, you know, I pulled up because you was moving separately with some other people, and you just gave me the invite. Like, yo, this is what's going on. Meet me down there. And then I remember when you see me, and you got me the press pass.
Oh yeah,
you got me the press, so I had all access.
Oh yeah.
I was rolling with DJ Drewski before he was DJ Drewski. When he was like an intern at Hot 99. Yeah. And Hot 97. Like, you know what I mean? And I remember that Nuff was there, Drewski was there, Angie Martinez was there. There was a lot of like major celebrity people. There was football players. New York Giants were there. There was New York Giant football players.
And still, did I let you get next to Nelly? It wasn't
next to Nelly.
It wasn't no like they there and we can't know. Nelly
had us on his hip the whole time.
He's like, yo, Sid, these are your people?
Bro, the whole time. He did drops for me.
Upstate. Y'all hear this?
We was chilling, like we was in the dugout during the game with them, like we was on a team. I wouldn't even have a uniform on.
Yo, no, listen, I appreciate you even saying this because these are important things where it just solidifies some of the relationships I built, but it goes back to how you introduce yourself, how you communicate with people. And I don't see what I want for everybody upstate. These opportunities, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, actually, and you actually procured some business for me because Nelly's not-for-profit started working with me after that. I did some things for them. I did a lot of PR for them behind a lot of different stuff that they had going on at that time. So they included me in their campaigns.
And I never hate. I'm always trying to put people in position and I'm out.
Nah, that was.
I mean, you know how many artists that I put with females? I'm talking about. I got stories that are supposed to be off the ear. Girls that go with me, and I'm like, are you serious? Like disappearing with certain artists and all of that, and they do what they do. hey, the artists love me because I ain't a hater.
I know a lot of these
Shorties,
stories,
I never talk about it. Like, that's your business.
I'm seeing
But as long as you're going to get some business done, if that's your choice to be with that artist and that's his choice and y'all do what y'all do, I'm far from a hater. And that's important because a lot of managers get that mixed up. They act like big brothers. They act like the father. They act like the boyfriend. And it's like, get out the way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Get out the way. I've never been that type of dude. And artists love dealing with me on that because they know I'll bring 100 girls. And I'm like, y'all do what y'all do.
That's how me and Rob, like, shout out to Black Rob, rest in peace.
Yes.
That's how me and Rob got super close.
Yes.
Because I used to be, everywhere we was at, there was always groupies. And I never put the groupies before the business. I was young, like I was like not concerned at all with that. And once he saw that, then it was like he wanted me around him all the time.
Yeah.
Because he knew I wasn't, because he had people stepping on his toe. He had his whole team made a fake Black Rob page and was trying to lure chicks and meet up with chicks as if they were him. I had to put them on like, yo, bro, I'm not trying to about your man, but they got the fake page, bro, and I hit it up and they this and that, and they try to, because I seen how they was dialoguing. So he quickly gravitated towards me for that reason, because you have to know how to get out the way. And you have to know, like, a lot of times you're in a situation where your role is to assist in a certain way. Your role at that point in time is not to get caught up like you're the talent.
There you go.
And I see that a lot where people don't know how to play their position. Because if you learn how to play your position, you'll find yourself in multiple positions.
There you go.
But when you don't know how to move out the way, or you don't know how to not be asking for an autograph when you're representing somebody, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. Because not for nothing, autograph, we can go to his house for dinner.
There you go.
He was about to offer you some autograph without you even asking for it.
Like,
on his jersey.
That was one of the arguments that day.
But to go to his crib.
Did you roll with me with Jada?
Yeah, I was with you with the Jada situation too.
Nice.
Yeah, and then like there was so many situations, bro, that even to this day, like I think about, like, you know what I mean?
You
like,
rolled with me.
I remember, and then I also remember the time I took you down to the bowling thing. I think that was another Nelly situation. Nelly was doing a fundraiser at a bowling alley.
No, that was.
Oh, the basketball player. What's his name from Brooklyn? Terry. We went down there. He did an interview for me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Jada was there at that too. Yeah. He did the drops for me there too. Yeah, they showed me a lot of love.
I always tried to show people. Again, you have to understand why. Again, I stepped away from really helping people because I've noticed that you could give this. You could help people, and somebody will find something negative to say to try to create their own buzz. Right. So I even for this interview, I said, let me be very mindful how I communicate on this interview, because people will take whatever they want to run with it, because that is their own power to try to talk down on something that they put no work in. So
a lot of it's just
shout out to everybody.
A lot of it's just jealousy.
Shout out to everybody. I love everybody.
Right.
I want to work with people, and I'm open to those ideas, but they have to be ready to let's make it happen. You can't have your boyfriend in the way, always wanting to do this and the third, and he want to know what this is and that is.
You have to be secure. He has to be secure.
I don't got time for none of that, man.
That'll ruin your career in a flash.
Yeah.
If you're bringing the wrong people around your situations, or if you're in relationships where people don't understand.
I don't want to hear no boyfriend shit with none of that. No, I don't want to hear none of that shit. Get him out of my way, because he's gonna stunt and he's gonna waste my time, and my time is money. And so that's what I look at.
So
that's what it gotta be.
I almost feel like you kind of answered this question already, but I'm gonna pose it to you again to see if you have a different answer, or because you're answering different things just in a normal conversation. Could you share some key strategies or principles that have contributed to your success in the business world?
Okay, guess what? My daily notes. How about that? I have a few daily notes that I always remind myself, and I think it's important. I'll share a few of them with your listeners, and I think that it's important to have something that you could kind of follow when you're out there. So let's see.
I appreciate that.
What did I got here? For one of the things I would say is distractions. You got to be careful. Distractions is the greatest killer. You know, it does. It's the greatest killer. Just being distracted in relationships, being distracted and trying to do multiple things that don't produce any whatever. Just being distracted, you know, it stunts and destroy your growth.
I want you to stay on this thing, but I just want to say this. I have a phrase. You're a distraction, a beautiful distraction, but a distraction nonetheless. Okay. And what I mean by that is that you could have the greatest baddest chick who wants to tear you apart every time she sees you, wants all the attention, want to love you, but you can't get anything done business-wise because she's fully engulfing your spirit all the time.
Yeah.
Every time you try to do something, she's there. Or you're trying to be on a phone call, she's talking in the background because she wants attention. And so I have this phrase for that reason, like, you are a distraction. A beautiful distraction, but a distraction nonetheless. So yes, when I have nothing, no time on my hands, I would love to just hang out with you and have great times and go off and do all these different things. But that is not today. Today is time to get work. Distractions will be the reason why you do not succeed. And continue, sir. Continue.
Problem. I think you shouldn't take advice from people who are not where you want to be in your life. Think about that, guys. Don't take advice from people who are not where you want to be in your life. So if you see somebody who's giving you advice, it is what you see. So if you want to be in kind of like walking someone's shoes, and you really are impressed with what they're doing and you really want to learn, that is the person you need to listen to. All of the extra advice from everybody, what you see them doing in real life is what it is. Get next to them for a minute, and
right.
You'll really get a chance to see these people are not living the life that they live. And that's what I would say. Don't take advice from people who are not where you want to be in your life. Okay? No one's coming to save you from your problems. I want everybody to know that. Stop feeling like somebody owes you something. No one's going to save you from your problem. Your life is 100% your responsibility. This is very serious what I'm saying. Your life is your 100% responsibility. Nobody's going to save you. You'll have help. You'll have this, that, and the third. But you're
not entitled.
You could really get anything you want in this world. I'm so serious. I really wish I could sit and tell people that it almost seems like impossible for some people. Like, how? Really? You really? Right now, just do it. Go do it. Stop feeling ashamed. Don't worry about how people think of you. Think about this really quickly, whoever's listening. Let's start with a stripper. Shout out to the strippers out there. Do you think that the ones that are successful making money worry about what people think? Didn't it take a lot of effort for them? Most strippers had to really go through something before they finally got on that stage. They probably used to dance in their room. They probably used to go with their friend and sit there and watch them. Then they do the fake little back rubs for the guys first. We know where you're going, shorty. We know where you're headed with this. Like, I'm seasoned with this. So you could play the back rub game. You start off going with your friend just as support. Then you're doing back rubs. I only do back rubs. Then I do bartending. Then you start doing shows out of town, and then you become that stripper. What's my point? My point is, and I love y'all, is that you had to say, I don't give a F at some point.
Right.
Now look at you financially. You have people who live different walks of life. Shout out to the LBG community. Is that how you pronounce it?
LGBT.
Pardon me.
Q.
Right?
MLLB.
They are living their life now. Why?
Right.
Because they say, we don't care anymore.
Right.
And it's the people now who have to hide behind the scenes that they're really struggling. So when you start, even drug dealers, shout out to my friends out there who no longer sells drugs.
Yeah.
But those guys had to, they have a I don't give a F mentality.
Yeah.
That's when you start making money.
Right.
You don't make money
nothing.
when you're worrying about people, what they perceive of you, how they're going to think about you. That's when you really stunt your own growth. So once you start to get there, you're going to be successful. Don't care. Everyone listening, do not care. Don't care what your boyfriend say. Don't care what your mom say. Believe in what you want to do and go get it. Right now, if you want money, you could just go get it. Do whatever you want to do. Strip, dance, have sex with people if you want to do it. Stop worrying about what people are going to say. Do what you want. I'm just telling people to do what they want to do.
Be who you are. Be true to yourself.
Stop worrying about what people think.
That's the message,
because that is what's holding you back. And once I realize that I want to do what I want to do, I realize that I'm living my life for me, and I realize my bank account started to change. Okay?
Yeah. Basically, be true to yourself. Be true to who you are and what your passions are, and stop trying to live for someone else's idea of what your life should be.
Which leads to no one cares about you, so stop being shy. Go out and create your chance. And I don't mean they don't care about you in a way that you don't matter to them. But nobody's really thinking about you like that, shorty.
Right.
People are really in a world on social media believing like, when I post this, everybody's gonna be looking at it. When I say this, everybody's gonna say it. Like, they're worried about the perception so much. And to be honest with you, we look at your status and move on.
Right.
I see it, I might like it, and it's over for you.
Right.
Stop falling for the thing that you really believe your world really matters on social media and all of these things, these platforms. It's a quick like, and there's billions of people right after you.
Right.
So no one's really so get that out your head. Find someone smarter than you, work with them, and don't compete. I've worked with people who asked me to help them.
Wait, Sidney, could you repeat that, please?
Find someone smarter than you, work with them, and don't compete.
Don't compete.
I have people who ask me for stuff, or I put them on stuff, and then literally they'll be like, really think they're in competition with me. And it's like, it's fine if you feel that way. And that's nice, but like, you probably are not gonna win, bro. Like, on so many levels. Like, you're just really hurting yourself doing this. And it's like, why find someone that you look up to try to compete with them? You know, and that's a problem that I think a lot of people have, and they need to get out of that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's hurting the
people that I
community,
look
too.
up to. I actually look for guidance, and then I may outgrow them, and then I move on to the next thing. But that's just the problem.
Right.
And I think one of my last things is smoking. I think people that smoke all the time, it really lowers their focus. And I'm not saying that it's bad to smoke, but really, what are you really getting out of smoking all the time? All the time. Like, yo, I gotta stay lit, bro. Really, like, what did it achieve for you? I understand it keeps you calm and nerves and all of that great stuff. And I get it.
You become codependent.
But like, this habit will only slow your thinking down. It really would. Like, it's really a huge promotion for people, whatever. But to be honest with you, the greats don't smoke, man. I'm being honest with you. Jay is not smoking weed. Diddy's not smoking weed. Dame ain't smoking weed.
Or if they are, they're doing it
I'm around them, man.
in a celebratory moderation.
Now,
right.
you don't have to model your entire life to these people, but I'm being honest with you, it's not a good look. No, especially when you're having real serious, calculated business decisions.
Yeah, because you're going to make some mistakes.
Listen, I do PowerPoint presentations. I do business plans. There's a lot of sharp stuff. People rely on me. I have a team. Mm-hmm. I show me, but I literally have a team of people. There's no way I want to be led by somebody that's always high when I'm dealing with numbers. I mean, I got a partnership with Enterprise. I got real serious stuff. I own a whole luxury car. They're not going to hear it at the end of this interview. They ain't hanging around. They need to know what's going on. And at the end of the day, how do I focus? And I have serious partnerships. And I'm high. I'm coming in and smelling like weed. Yeah, it's my problem. I could do me, man. Nobody could tell me what to do. Go ahead, keep saying that. And what does your bank account look like again? So if you want to be hard-headed and you want to continue that mindset, that's nice. But there's a place for that group of people. You have to have sacrifice, dedication. You have to have discipline. No one wants to be led by somebody who has all of these weaknesses and got to drink every weekend and know where every party is at. And I got this level of bud, and this one is this, and this is purple, this, and yeah, there's a group of people that will sit right in that corner. We got you. We love you too. But you ain't built for this group. And that's just what it is. You could go to labels. And if the CEO of a label sees that you have these habits, if your habit ain't strictly because you want to be in the studio, trust me, you have a very low chance of getting a deal. And I ain't just talking about a music deal. I'm talking about a partnership deal. I do partnerships. All of my businesses is partnerships. Right. I start it, I partner it, and then I sell it. Everything I do is start from zero, and then I turn it into something, and I make sure that it becomes valuable, and then I sell it to somebody else. That's what I do. And so no one wants to buy something that has that, and no one wants to be a part of anything that when you have all of these different issues. So I just say that, and it's not to knock anybody. This is real hard advice. And I wouldn't even want to partner with anybody that have all of these different scenarios, especially when I have so much on the line where it's going to hurt my other business by spending time with you, or my investment, spending time with you, or whatever. So it's just one of those things where
you say it a lot.
I was told this, and I've lost a lot of deals because I had bad habits. My habit was women. Mm-hmm. My biggest habit was women.
Right.
I love all type of women. I was on tour with many celebrities. You know what I'm saying? I had barbershops. I had like 4 or 5 barbershops. Like, that lifestyle of just being with women is a huge distraction.
Yes.
And when I
women are the
realized,
biggest distractions.
it is, and I love them
to a career.
But when I realized that I had to focus more on that because it wasn't drinking and smoking was my weakness, even though I do drink and smoke, my weakness was women.
Right.
I used to be with 5 or 6 women a day. You get what I'm saying? On your radio show. Seriously, it was ridiculous. And I'm not proud of it because at some point it was like, man, this is like, I have an issue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I have an issue.
Right.
And you could calculate that 5 or 6 and you times that by 6 days out of the week.
Yeah, let's not do that.
It was ridiculous. And I was happy with myself because I'm like, yo, I closed another deal. But after a while, I looked at myself like, that's disgusting. You know what I'm saying?
It was your ego. Your ego.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I stopped that, I started seeing my businesses flourish. So take the advice, eat the fish, throw away the bones, whoever's listening.
Heard it. So what challenges did you face during your journey as a business mogul and how did you overcome them?
Repeat that?
So I asked you, what challenges did you face during your journey to become a business mogul and how did you overcome them?
There's a lot of challenges. I think I touched on that but like women was one. Mm-hmm. Women was 2. It was. Challenges of really just balancing personal life and business. Challenges of really having friends that I wanted to take with me that I realized you're just not ready. Challenges of really cutting off friendships and relationships. Mm-hmm. People that I really care about and love, but realize, listen, I'm gonna love you from over here. And yeah, I knew this dude or this girl for 6 months, but I see that he's shown enough commitment that I could trust him on the road, or I could trust him with this type of budget. So it's really those type of challenges are tough because when I love hard. I'm really loyal to my friendships and my business deals. But it was one of those things where I had to decide between the two and realize that it's really all about, making sure I save the business and having something for legacy for my family.
Heard it. How do you stay ahead of the competition and constantly innovate in today's changing business landscape?
Look at my beard. Look at my hair. I'm a different Sidney.
Yeah, you are.
So it's important to reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
You have to reinvent yourself.
People know me for being bald head slick for how many years?
I can believe it. So it's one of those things. So I really think that it's really important to reinvent yourself. Women that be like, yo, you was cute, but now you're really cute. I'm like, so I wasn't cute before? It's really about reinventing yourself. People really draw to that because you could kind of bring your last audience with the new audience. It's like kind of like an album. You won't want all your albums to sound the same. So I moved on and I really reinvented myself, came up with different business plans, used the same management model and brought it into business that I bought from entertainment. So that's important.
Let's talk about failure. Are there any failures in your life or setbacks that you experience that help to shape your approach to business now, specifically?
I think one of the ones that really got to me for most of my career was the Kid Cudi thing. Mm-hmm. It really just taking a loss, spent so much money, tens of thousands of dollars as a young guy. Yeah. Who I invested in somebody who, this is a male.
That might as well be $100,000.
Why would I invest money in another male?
Right.
I love women.
Right.
So I invested in him because I believed in him. Right. I invested in him. And when you invest, what do everyone want when they invest? You want a return on your investment. So I invested, you could invest $1 at the burger store. You want your burger.
Right.
Anytime you invest, that's why women cry so much with relationships. A lot of them really invest.
Yes.
And when they dealing with a guy who's a player who really didn't care, they cry and they clingy and guys like, she's so annoying, man. And I have to say, bro, you know what she's annoying for? Because she invested. And they go, what you mean? She's invested. She cooked for you. Hell yeah. She gave you, hell yeah. Well, hell yeah. All of those things. So she invested.
She's giving
so
you
when you
herself.
invest, whatever it might be, personally, business-wise, you want a return on that. And so I invested in him. And that was one of my biggest things to see. All right, I invested in this guy, did all of the things, all of this investment, put him in acting classes, got him in front of the labels, got him all this other stuff, lost a child, and then took a loss where he kind of ran off like that. So that's kind of like one of the things that it was a big learning lesson to get my paperwork together. Mm-hmm. And,
paperwork.
Yeah, and not really not do business by shaking hands. Really get your paperwork together. And that was one of the turning points. Big learning lesson.
As a business leader, what qualities do you believe are essential for fostering a thriving company culture?
I think you got to lead by example.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to lead by example. You know, like setting the tone. You know, what you represent is what you're gonna get out of it. So I mean, my qualities of leadership qualities is really just to be a good communicator, be honest, integrity, take care of my team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If there's misunderstandings or disputes, discuss it and talk about it as men or as business partners, whether they're women or whatever like that. So those qualities, everybody don't know how to really do that. They look at that and shun it on thinking it's a weak sign. And there's nothing weak about me.
Mm-hmm.
I just understand that the dark side of me is not gonna cut no checks.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to be able to talk to people and understand them and step back even when they become ignorant, that's just a skill that I learned. It's not something that I'll let you think if you won that mindset, if you think that that's something that's gonna make you feel better for tomorrow, I'll let you take that. So I think it's important to be a leader. You have to be able to know how to take L's. You gotta know how to step away. You gotta learn how to let somebody have that on social media. You gotta let somebody, you see people chatting about you over here, you can say, you can have that. But if you can't do that, it falls under that pet, ego. So you gotta let them have that.
What advice would you give to, and I like that, the way you ended that, with leadership comes great responsibility.
Thanks.
What advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs who are just starting their own businesses?
Get your paperwork right. You know, I heard a lot of people, oh, I got my LLC. Well, what's an LLC? I got my EIN, and then I'm gonna go do this. All right, so you gotta understand step by step what you're doing. Structure your business. You're gonna get your EIN number. Get your EIN number. Go downtown and get your DBA. Register your business with the county that you in, and then just go to the bank and open up a business account. You know, it might cost you $5, $10. You open up a business account, and now you're establishing something. There's so many steps. It's so simple.
Right.
But you notice that people really want to start stuff. Get your publishing. Do all of these things. It's like so simple. It's the same way you logging into all of these social media sites. You could set up an account with your publishing. You could set up your account with distribution. You could set up things. But once someone see that you put forth the effort and you try to structure certain things, take a step back and say, he's trying or she's trying. Let me fix this. Let me finesse this and get this out the way and help you fix it. But when you don't want to see that, it's like, I'm not coming in to do all of this homework.
Right.
Then you have the influences of your brother and your aunt saying, you ain't doing this and you ain't signing this and we got to take this to our lawyer. It's just too much. And so those are the things. Get yourself together. Commit to what you're doing. If you're doing music, stay in that studio.
Mm-hmm.
Be creative. Don't sound like everyone else. Take risks in that booth. Try to do some real awkward, weird sounding. Just don't sound like nobody. Just take risks in the studio.
Yes.
And you're going to end up landing something that's going to be so different that everybody's going to love it, laugh at it, want to dance to it, do something to it. And that's what it's all about, taking risks.
Some of these questions, like, you've kind of answered in certain things, but I'm being like very specific with the way that I'm asking the questions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How important is networking and building relationships in the business world? And what strategies do you employ to cultivate valuable connections?
There's a lot. It's a loaded question.
Mm-hmm.
It's important. Everyone should know that networking. Social media is a network, right? So it's networking. But it only gets you so far. You got to get out. You got to get out. You got to shake hands. You got to talk to real people. You know, and you really have to understand the importance of marketing and promotion and things like that to really get out, to get your name out there and really stick with whatever it is you're doing. Why is it? How important it is? It's vital. It's vital. It's so important. It's either gonna be a win or lose if you don't do it. It's extremely vital that you get out there and you network and you talk with people and you talk with the right people. You know, not just talking again to any and everyone. I mean, everyone don't need to know your business, but get out there and shake hands and keep your word. Mm-hmm. And integrity is important. Be on time.
If you say you're gonna do something, do it.
Do it.
Yep.
You know, and work hard at it. Don't give up. Like at night when everybody's sleeping, be up 2 a.m. doing it. Next night. Because I mean, most of the stuff that I get done is when everybody's sleep. And I love it because
Me
I'm
too.
like, yes, I'm gonna be ahead of 90% of
Yes.
everyone else because they sleeping.
That's exactly how I
And
think.
so y'all living these 12 hours. I'm living 24 hours.
Every
And it's
man, my
like,
father told me, every man has the same amount of hours in a day. It's all about how you utilize them. That's what's going to determine your success.
There you go, especially at night. So
Yes. When everybody's sleeping.
use your time wisely.
So what are some emerging trends or technologies that you believe will significantly impact businesses in the near future?
I'm not sure about the trends yet, because trends don't always stay. I think trends kind of like come and then they go. I think you really got to stick with the core thing of really networking, marketing, promoting yourself, getting out there, going to these events that are in other states, really rubbing shoulders with people, taking risks. Using your last dollar if you have to. If you really have to figure out, is it going to be this or this? Go with what you wanted to get done. And if you're not scared, it's not going to work. You have to be scared. You have to be worried. You have to really feel like everything you're doing is like weird. Like when I found success, I really realized like, damn, it was everything that I was doing that was so different than everybody. I wasn't taking the traditional route. When people start doubting you, you're almost there.
Right.
You're almost there when people start doubting you. And I'm gonna be honest with you, local ain't working. It ain't gonna work. It's only how many people live upstate New York?
The market is small.
You're not that you. It's okay to kind of get the buzz upstate. So what you should use upstate for is to kind of gauge what is a good sound or what's a good look. You could kind of get some opinions on that. You got to take that and you got to go.
You got to take it on the road.
You got to go to another country.
Yeah.
I would tell anybody, go to another country. You could use Google and why can't you market to Canada?
My next project is going to be marketing overseas.
Why are you not marketing to Africa? Why are you not marketing to Germany? All of these locations that love hip hop,
Shout out to
R&B,
Sony Orchard.
the arts, all of these things. Any promoter would love to take you on and say, yeah, we want to put you on the show. Why are y'all still promoting upstate New York?
Right.
Not to diss upstate New York. Why? Why are you not using the same effort to reach out to somebody on Instagram and say, hey, I see you're a promoter. I want to do business with you.
They're too busy worried about this particular market. When it's dried up, it's like a raisin with no water right now.
It's not going to happen. Even me, if I manage somebody, I have to take them outside of this.
Yeah.
I would meet them here.
Yeah.
But we're gonna do business outside of here. We're gonna go to Togo.
This is a training round. This is a good training round. This is a good round to get your songs recorded, get your video budgets up, because it allows you to bring your overhead down. So you able to bring your overhead down, get all the tools that you need, invest into all the tools that you need for your trade, and then you take that act on the road.
Right. And you don't have to do some local roads. Everybody's so scared. Get a passport and go do shows in another country. You could easily have somebody like me. I can negotiate it. I can let them know I use my background as leverage, how I manage things, how I send out my press information, and let them know that we are excited to do business with you. We've watched and noticed how you develop your artists and how you do shows. We're very interested on your next project to do such and such and such. They normally will be like, hey, so what are you thinking or what are your projects? We would love to do business with you. We got something right here. Now you take that and you basically say, here are the numbers that we're looking at. Send me your contract. Make people send you their contract. Don't spend 20 hours drafting up something and you don't spend all of that investment. Have them send you their contract, review it. If you want one of your team members to review it, you look it over, revise it, they get it and say, yeah, we onto that. They send you a deposit, you stand on your word. You don't tell your homies, yo, these dummies sent me $2,000, bro, we out of here. That's the problem. No one wants to be, everyone's raised, they just think everything's funny to take somebody's money and run off with it, but you just really blew your opportunity. You take that money, you send them a thank you, a professional thank you, you stick with what you do, and you over-deliver when you get there.
That's right.
You over-deliver. You say, you know what, you're giving me 20-minute slot, I'm going to give you an hour if you want that. Then you start finding the venues around that. You say, hey, I'm with Big Mike. We're doing a show with Big Mike. We want to bring some of his crowd to some of your local venues.
Yes.
Now you're getting 2, 3, 3. Now you're telling everybody, yo, we got 3 shows in India. Who's done that ready upstate? Nobody. I just put a plan right now on this show on how simple it is.
Yep.
But the problem is you can't find nobody who's serious enough. Everybody talk that garbage on social media. We should try this. We could try that. Well, show me your bank account. Show me what success you had. All of these million ideas.
Out recently on
There's just too many people so excited off of people with all of these stupid ideas. And let me see one thing you've accomplished. I want to see the end result.
No follow through.
What has happened with it? And I'm talking about numbers. I'm not talking about what you've done. I'm talking about how much money did it generate? And that's what the bottom line is, because that's what Big Mike want to know. Everybody want to know, don't want to hear your ideas. They don't want to hear your experiment. They want to hear your experience. And there's a big difference. People want to be experimenting, like, yo, I want to try this. Yo, you know what I was thinking? I don't want to hear that.
Right.
I want to hear what you've done. And when you tell me what you've done, then I may want to be a part of your experience. And so that's what these businesses want to know. They want to see that you are going to take the time to nurture what their idea is. You're going to get it done. Now you got an artist that's going to do a show. Now you come back to the States. How many people want to book you when you just came back from India? Everybody going to say, yo, blah, 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 just came back from India,
your whole level's at another level.
That's my point.
Now people want you to manage them. People want you to do this.
But the artist is right. But the artist is now popping because he has a fan base. Is he still going to get more YouTube views? Yes.
Right.
Because India is giving you those views.
Right.
You don't need upstate New York views. Views are views.
Right.
Get views from Africa. Get views from India. Half of them don't even say no because they're welcoming you from America.
Right.
Where they want to get here.
And if you're from NY, it's like it doesn't matter where in New York you're from. That NY travels everywhere.
And they want to be entertained. People all over the country want to be entertained. They're so impressed with us. But yet and still, everyone have these little minds and they want to do this corner little show right here at this tiny little venue where they got to pay $500 to perform. And then tomorrow it's over and it's like, yeah, you had a couple of people, you probably smashed a shorty tonight and whatever. But like, that's not what it is no more. And I got to say, there's so much talent out here. Like the talent is... There's some really good talent, some really great, really good talent,
potential talent right
and
now.
Females too.
Yes, especially females, specifically females. Two that I have right now.
Who you got an eye on? Put you on a spot. How about that?
Dream Girl Ashi and Egyptian Queen. Those are the two.
Are they from Albany?
She's Egyptian. She's from Egypt originally. She relocated here, went to Albany High School, and she's been here. But she's hustling, man. She's got the look, image, the drive, the ambition. She's starting to make the records now. She just needs somebody to come in to help kind of like mold a little, give a little bit more direction.
Everybody's not moldable.
You know what I mean?
I'm not saying her, but is she moldable?
No, she is.
Some people get on a high horse high that they're not moldable. Not her. I don't know her.
Yeah, see, that's annoying. That's the thing. The problem is that once they start to level up here, because I'm not going to really, the ego comes in a little bit, and then it's kind of like, so that's the only problem that I've had with artists here.
What about the males?
Where I'm gonna be honest with you, like I'm not like King Dre. Shout out to King Dre, artist that I work with. He's the real deal artistically. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to get like him, how should I put it? Just kind of round off some of the edges right now. But because sometimes life, you need to just live as an artist, because experience is important for your creativity. Mm-hmm. and having gone through different things, failures, successes, and things like that. So sometimes certain people just need years to go by so that they can really, decide, is this for me? It's not for everybody. This lifestyle is not for everybody. And sometimes you get to a point and you realize, you know what, I'm just gonna be a regular guy. Like, I done tried this. If it's really for you, it's gonna be there. You know what I mean? So I think with Dre, it was just about him just more time in life and living and see. So I stand.
He's stuck.
No, I'm saying.
Who's your three? I'll give you three.
Well, out here in 518, you saying?
You can say 518.
I mean, if we talking about like
I'm
spirit,
518.
Are you talking about 518? Yeah. All right. So King Dre. You talking about males, right?
I don't mean to put you on the spot, bro.
Yeah, I don't even know if I should be the one even speaking on this. You know what I mean? For the platform that I'm in. That's that Virgo stuff, bro. That's what happens. I got my Virgo brother, my twin brother up in the house tonight. He done flipped it on me. So now we gonna deviate from that. You know what I mean? I'm not, because I don't want to. For one, I don't want to make nobody feel away if their name is not mentioned. Shout out to Flowboy Deuce though, because if he was talking about like period, Flowboy Deuce coming out of the Bronx right now. I'm working with him. He's fire. He's fire. I actually was thinking about ending one of his records right now. But yeah, Flowboy Deuce is crazy out of the Bronx right now. You know, I inked the deal for him with his Flow Time Entertainment through Sony Orchard. And so he's leveling up right now, and I'm helping to navigate his career. And we about to go overseas and do some things. I'm working. That's why when you talk about the overseas thing, I'm working on some things, bro.
Overseas.
I'm working on some things right now.
Get your passport and let's go.
But Sid, there's something specifically I want to talk to you about, because I think this is important to know. Like, you appear to be in a lot of different places at once. You're here. I seen you in Atlanta. I seen you in Texas. Where are you residing right now? Like, where are you calling home? Because I've seen you in so many homes. And let's talk about, how are you able to manifest all these different locations? Because it looks like you have homes in all these different places. All right. How did this come about?
Did y'all see me on? Did anybody see the reality show?
I did see the reality show.
Did anybody see that? I mean, how many reality shows were shot out here? I don't know. But I mean, I know that I was, if anything, I was in one of the most recent ones. And so it's all about real estate, right? Yes. So I was on a reality show. Real estate has been something I tapped into. I used to set up Airbnbs too. I still have a few. Anybody want one, hit me up. So really, I kind of realized moving about, going from different towns, you learn a lot. You get a chance to rub elbows with different people, whatever like that. So technically, I spent a lot of my time in Texas, New York City, and upstate New York. Because I have a lot of love there. I have family in all of those different areas. And so I balance my time out very wisely between the three.
So we were talking about something like, now that you're talking about real estate, we were having a conversation off the record, and we were talking about tax deeds.
That's right.
You thought you was gonna slide that by me.
Nice with that. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about tax deeds and what exactly that is. Explain that concept to me of a tax deed.
A tax deed is, there are tax states. There are deed states, excuse me. And one of the deed states is Texas. Now, there are a few deed states. Follow me if you will, everyone. Deed states are deeds. Deeds are legal document, the legal document for a house. So whoever owns a house has a deed. Well, they're deed states, which means if anyone don't pay their taxes, especially in the state of Texas, then every Tuesday, the state of Texas has an auction. And now there are 144 counties in the state of Texas. So every Tuesday, every county has an auction for anyone that didn't pay their taxes. So you could buy a house for as little as, or buy a deed for as little as $500. The house could be worth $80,000. You walk into the county on Tuesday, there's a list of houses that no one paid their taxes on. Maybe someone passed away. It could be a divorce. It could be financial issues. They could have been strung on drugs. You go there, you see the list, you go look at the house, you come there, and then you go for the auction. And most people don't even really pay attention to these deed auctions because it's so often. When you get stuff often, you don't pay attention.
Right.
Like Atlanta is a deed state, but they do this auction every year.
Right.
So people kind of like run to it to get these auctions. But in Texas is a deed state, and they're very serious about their taxes. So you go there, you buy the deed for whatever the amount is. You actually have access to that house, literally. And you can leave the courthouse and go and access that home. So the original owner of the deed has 90 days to pay off that deed. And they have to also include 25%. So you automatically make money on that deed. You go in there, you pay, say, for instance, you pay $5,000 for this house. You leave the court building, you go right into that apartment, that house right there. You own everything. You own it. You could go to sleep. You could rent it out. But you have to evict that person if the owner actually pays for that, pays the ticket, pays the taxes.
Yes.
So they have up to 90 days, but they have to pay 25% on top of what you just paid for.
So the taxes plus 25%
yes,
on top
and you
of that.
actually will own a house. So you own a house
until they're able to buy it back, and if they don't get it back in 90 days, it's a dub.
If they don't get it back in 90 days, they have to come up with the money you pay for the taxes on top of 25%. If they don't get it done in 90 days, their name come off the deed because it's two people name on the deed.
Yours
now.
and theirs.
Yes. So their name actually comes off the deed.
And then it's yours solely.
It's yours solely, and they have to pay the mortgage. So that
Wait,
mortgage loan,
they have to pay the mortgage?
the loan that they had as a loan on a mortgage, they still have to pay that. You literally now own that whole property.
Are you serious?
And that's the thing.
And that's between them and the bank.
That's between
that
them
got nothing
and
to do
their
with
bank.
you.
And
That's
you
now your property.
Right, and plus it's a great investment, right? So if I put $5,000 on a house, I'm literally going to get a return on that investment, whether I own that home or I get 25%.
Immediately.
Because 25% of $5,000 is what, like maybe $1,200 or something like that,
$1,250.
right? So now you made $1,200 in 90 days, and you was able to sleep in this house. So I have
For
a
the whole
couple of
time.
business friends that I put onto this that literally
and you can Airbnb
they
to rent
sleep
out
house to house. They sleep house to house. They went out there, came out there with like $1,400. One of my friends came out there with $1,400, found a really cheap house, got the deed, slept there, sleep there, got the person put the money back on it. He found another house that was like almost $3,000. He moved out of there within the time that they switched up the paperwork. He found another house. This one he actually ended up keeping because the person didn't redeem the house. So I know it's complicated to kind of understand on a radio what I'm saying, but if you're not high,
not if you were taking notes,
and if you're following me, this is something that's a game changer instead of trying to have an 800 credit score. So you can now buy houses with a tax deed in a tax deed state. Every state is not a tax deed state. So don't move to Arizona talking about I bought me a house, whatever, because whatever. You gotta go with tax deed states are. And that's what it's at. So that's how I got my property.
I gotta put some applause on that. Applause on that.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. That's official. So Sid, because we coming to the end of this segment. We've really touched on a lot of great things. But one of the things that really that baffles me is how you're able to handle and balance your work life. And does it burnout? Like that's a thing. Like how do you handle work-life balance and avoid burnout while maintaining such a high level of performance in your business endeavors?
Well, one thing is that I have to do something I enjoy. If I'm not enjoying what I do, then I can't do it. So that's one thing. So I'm excited to wake up early in the morning and go do whatever because I don't feel like a job. The second thing I would say, which will also go back into the tapping on the ego thing, is I don't have a problem with all that I do. Taking on a job. I don't have a problem with taking a job that's good paying job that really would give me some knowledge and experience while I operate and run these businesses. You know why? And I say that because somebody may ever say, oh, I saw Sidney working here. You know what? That is exactly my motto. I do not believe in not working. I believe in making sure that you always continue to generate income and having 7 streams of income. So
multiple streams of income is the name of the game, people.
Yes. So what I look at is anytime I take a job, it's never going to be for long term because what job is forever? And you go there to learn. You go there to absorb. You go there to learn how to write contracts. You learn how to be able to deal with building relationships and understanding the business philosophy and the mission. And you adapt that and you tie that into your business philosophy. So
look at the way that the company that you're working for is running their business model and incorporate what you see working.
Why you think that certain record labels like Diddy worked for a major label, then he ended up starting his own.
Right.
So you have that same mindset. You go into working for companies and then you take a lot of what they do and you put it in, and you incorporate that into your own business. So some people may see me in between that phase and go, "What's that about?" Well, this is how it goes. This is how I go about making big moves. So
I'm really glad you said that.
Instead of going to school, so this is how you save money when you're about to take a class that you don't need, and you're taking these degrees, and it's like half of this you don't even understand or don't need. You just took it to just get a degree, and then you can't even apply it because you don't have real world experience. So going into certain jobs, take jobs that's going to pay you good. But take jobs that's going to position you for tomorrow. So when you in there, you going in there, you're getting paid, but you want to feel like an intern.
Right.
And when you take this knowledge, you have to be able to really dig deep into that business and kind of really steal some of those jewels. Not take some of licensing and logos and stuff, but you really learn how to talk to people. What's their script when they answer the phone? How do they problem solve? How do they resolve issues? What are they aware about generating leads? How do they communicate with other outside companies? How do they build those relationships? What do they do to build those relationships? How do they deal with retention? All of those things, I could talk on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And once you learn how to do that, a lot of these companies, believe me, they're so impressed when they come in and be like, wow, this black guy kind of like talk like us and look like us, and he could wrap rings around us. And that's what it is. I wear many hats.
Mm-hmm.
And if wear many hats, that's the other thing. Don't be so one-dimensional.
Don't be a one-trick pony.
Don't worry about people in the hood thinking, wow, you sound like a white boy, or a black guy, you sound like a black guy. Yeah, that's why he's a white rapper, and he's making more money than you.
Right.
He ain't worrying about what you think.
Right.
He's feeling comfortable in himself.
Sidney, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I honestly think I'll be living in another country. I think that I'll be moving. I've been really considering moving to just my phone.
Oh, I was wondering what that was.
I've really been considering moving to another country and trading, doing with more like, doing big trade deals and things like that. I think I'm almost had enough of America, to be honest with you. I know that sounds crazy, but it's just all of this stuff we got going on here with like fake fires and all of this and just everything, and just the lifestyle of how feminine women are now moved into this area, and how masculine men are going into this area, and how people just really just have no real direction on what's going on.
Right.
Everybody's lost. The culture of hip hop has really just mixed
the
everything
news and
up.
social
The
media
women
now
are just like all over the place with just like nobody's happy. You really dig deep, people are really like just not happy.
Right.
And it's like, for me, it's like I really want to go somewhere where there's a culture, and there's a strong culture and a love for everybody.
Yes.
Not one color.
Yes.
Not one person, and
Yes.
then welcoming.
Yes.
And then you could really realize,
Denmark is like that.
This medicine, where did it come from? Here.
I got that
These
love like that.
drinks, where did it really come from? Here. And now we're dealing with natural juices and lifestyle. So it's like, for me, I honestly, really, my idea and truth is that it's gonna be, I'm really gonna introduce to everybody, I'm living in a whole nother country.
You're looking for your utopia right now.
This country is done.
Yeah.
It's so done financially.
Stick
It's
a
like
fork
right
in it.
now,
Stick
I
a
don't
fork.
even feel that good, to
Stick
be
a
honest
fork.
with
Stick
you.
a
We're
fork in
dealing with this stuff burning out here, and we just got through the COVID thing 2 years ago, and it's like...
And there's something on the way. There's something else coming.
Yeah, and this is like really damaging us slowly.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, like, we don't see it, but there's a slow evolution of really damage to our lungs, our respiratory systems, our kids, just with all of the things that we got to endure. So for me...
So would you say what's the end game?
My end game is that my businesses work for me. So I technically, literally don't really have to work. Who don't need a car?
Right.
Who don't need a car? Who doesn't need roadside? My roadside company is soundproof. It's safe because, I built that during COVID.
Yeah, you did.
And I have accounts with Allstate, all of the big roadside companies. I own it 100%. 100%. And I've licensed a certain part of upstate New York. And so with that, it's like, you're always going to have a need for that. You're always going to have a need. So I found businesses that you always have a need, and I don't really have to do much of anything. And so that frees my time. And
turnkey operations.
Yeah. So
you want to have a turnkey operation.
And I want people to do that. I would love everybody to
That's what I'm setting up right now, a turnkey. So we're going to go into this final segment, and it's called This or That.
Okay.
Kanye or Drake?
I'll say Drake.
Pac or Big?
I'm going with Big.
MJ or Prince?
MJ.
Football or basketball?
Basketball.
Winter or summer?
I like my summers.
If you could go into the past and meet your ancestors, or the future and meet your great-grandchildren, what would you choose?
I want the future.
You want to see what's going on?
Yeah, I want to see what this all came about.
Right. Hot coffee or tea?
Hot.
Henny or Douce? He's like, neither.
Let's say deuce.
More time or more money?
More time.
Without the internet for a week or without your phone for a week? So you could be online.
They could take the internet.
Right. Lose your vision or your hearing?
I'd rather lose my hearing.
So you want to be able to see?
I gotta see what's going on, yeah.
Batman or Spider-Man?
I say Spider-Man. Batman got corny.
I love Spider-Man. PlayStation or Xbox?
I say PlayStation.
Money or love?
I love love. I love love.
Cooking or eating out?
Cooking.
Gold or platinum?
Gold.
Denzel Training Day or Al Pacino Scarface?
I like Training Day. I love Training Day.
Goodfellas or Godfather?
Godfather.
J. Lo or Shakira?
J-Lo.
You gotta say J. Lo. You from the boogie. Taraji P or Megan Good?
I say Megan Good. It depends on what you're asking with that, okay?
No, it's just that's the thing. It's this or that. You
right,
ain't gotta get. That's for you to figure out. You figure all that out.
Right.
And the final question I'm gonna ask you is: would you rather be real estate wealthy or entertainment wealthy? If you had to choose between one lifestyle or the other.
Real estate.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
You could leave that to your kids and
Right.
your family.
Right. And I'm gonna end it on that note, my brother, man. I just want to thank you, man. Matter of fact, this is the applause going right again. Yeah, we got applause, man. Come on, man. Stop playing around, man. We got award-winning Sidney McDonald in the building.
Next time I'm gonna teach y'all how to get that credit up.
2 hours, man. We ain't even discussed the credit.
Next time do you want
part two of the segue?
Yeah, but they gotta get their credit up, man. I want to make sure people are getting money. They know how to get funding.
Right.
You know
Here's what I'm gonna do.
They need that.
Here's what we're gonna do. We all gonna do that, right? We all gonna do that, but
Yeah.
we're gonna wait till the next season for that.
Okay.
And not even like when I say next season, I don't mean the podcast season. I mean when the weather changes, I'm gonna bring you back for my Block Giants Raw and Cut Saturdays 10 to midnight, where curses are allowed.
Oh, okay.
Mr. I had to push the
I had
edit
to
button.
really watch myself, guys. The way I was talking, I was really like stumbling over words and being really careful. I don't want to curse.
Yeah. So
You know
yeah,
what I'm
but I'm gonna have to come back on Block Giants Run or Cut, my other segment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where we get to go to hardcore music, and I really want to have you chill for a little bit, and we're gonna go through some records, talk about it. I got a special. I'm gonna make a real special show. We're gonna do for that day. It's gonna be very interactive. We're gonna do something. We'll do that. Let some time go by. Let this season come out. Let them really see this actually in video format. You know what I mean? And see the whole season, and then we do the launch party, and then we're gonna revisit this, man. But once again, man, Sidney McDonald's in the building, man. Sidney McDonald, man.